What's going on, everybody? Jeremy back again with Remy Q Studios. I want to welcome you to my studio. We have a very, very special guest tonight. But first, all right. And before we get anything started, let me bring in Mr. Chris from Cardboard Crazies. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well.
I am doing well, other than that brief lighting issue that I had. I'll tell you, that was going to bug the crap out of me. I can tell you right now, I know I had 10 seconds left, and I was like, there is no way in the world I can let this sit because I'm going to cut the camera off and I'm going to be fussing with that thing. So I had to very quickly do that.
I heard you in the background, and all I heard was,
That's what it was. Yeah, little bit of spice there. That's what it was. There's a little bit of spice to the afternoon, to the evening, to wherever you're at. So
I'm excited. I'm excited about tonight.
I'm really excited about tonight as well because this is it's a little bit of a role reversal. I mean, let's flip it on its ear and just say what it is because I'm sure everybody's already known either in the description, from the title, from the thumbnail. Tonight's special guest is the one and only SmallTown Collectibles, Jimmy the Don Kerr.
What is going on?
What is going on? How you doing, sir?
I'm good, guys. How you all this evening?
I am thrilled to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, it's definitely a pleasure to have you on. And the king of 10 questions. I mean, let's just say what it is. I mean, you certainly have many other things. You've got your first appearances and key issues that you review. I love that show. You definitely do a ton of different mystery boxes, which is nice because you really do a wide range, good spread of boxes between some of the major mystery box folks, which I love that you haven't given up on that yet. And you do have a lot of the intros for YouTubers and folks on Instagram and everything else. But I mean, that diamond really is the 10 questions. And I got to tell you, every Thursday, like clockwork, I get up and I immediately start watching it. Like your delivery on that is perfect because I know I start getting ready for work and I'm watching it and it's the whole thing. So I absolutely am a huge fan of it. I had the honor to be on it once, and again, that is how I start my Thursdays. And if anybody checks me out on Instagram, I hope you see that it's how I start my Thursdays because daggone, I'm going to post it's how I start my Thursdays every Thursday.
No, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. 10 questions is definitely, for me, it's the favorite thing that I do on my channel. It's I love doing it. Like, I so look forward to sitting down with somebody each week, getting to know people out in the community a little better, and trying to come up with questions, actually kind of doing a little research, find out about the people that I'm watching. And I appreciate you coming on. It was a great episode when you came on. I really enjoyed that. And we're going to have to get Chris on here at some point.
Now, and so I have to assume that wasn't the initial goal for this. And you've talked about how your YouTube channel started, and it really is an amazing story. Something that you were, kind of showing the family. You'd said that you wanted to show your daughters, like, hey, you can do anything that you want. I think that's an awesome story. But the 10 questions again. How did that come around? Because again, is that just something that kind of developed into it, or did you always have that kind of interview segment in mind? Or
not necessarily. Like, I do a podcast with some guys here locally where we talk about politics mainly. Like, we talk about politics and current events. It's another, not really a passion. Politics is not a passion of mine, but it is something I'm interested in. And we had a interview series that we did called The Other Side of the Glass. The podcast is called Just Add Bourbon, and we had an interview series called The Other Side of the Glass. And I started interviewing people, and I was getting pretty good at it, right? So, or felt like I was getting comfortable doing the interviews. And so I was trying to find something different because I was getting a little bit bored with the mystery boxes. opening those. It's still fun. It's always fun to open a mystery box, but I was just looking for something different, to do on the channel. And I actually messaged Gary B and Slot and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing, this interview series called 10 Questions. What do you guys think? And they were like, yeah, that sounds great. And they kind of helped me work up the initial first 10 questions that I did. They were my first 2 guests, to kind of get used to, the setup and the way that I do it. And then it just kind of evolved from there and has become the flagship of my channel. And like I said, it's by far my favorite thing to do on the channel. I enjoy doing it more than anything else I do. But it wasn't the idea to do it from the beginning. I was just playing. Like I was just getting on there and opening boxes and, just trying to get comfortable. I was telling Gary B and Slot, I was like, look, it's kind of weird sitting in a room talking to yourself. Looking at a camera and talking to yourself. And so it took a little while to get used to doing that. But now, like I said, I'm pretty comfortable with it. And 10 questions is, hopefully just going to keep going. And then I've got some other ideas for some offshoots of 10 questions that hopefully you'll be seeing real soon. Yeah.
And you really have, it's awesome. I mean, again, you've got an array of guests on there. And I've always enjoyed it because it's something where, I mean, it's a YouTube community, so we all talk to each other, or sometimes we'll, live stream together and everything. But you really don't get to that chance to kind of dig in like you do for 10 questions. And so I've just always enjoyed that part. I mean, even if it was somebody, I mean, you had DJ on there and I was tickled to death because I was like, well, yeah, I'd never even asked these questions. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything that I thought of. So, again.
And that's part of the fun is actually coming up with the 10 questions. And the 10 questions always turns into like 30 questions because of the follow-up. But 10 questions just sounds better than 30 questions, right? So it's and it's a little easier to get people on when you say there's just going to be 10 questions.
It's sometimes you'll have that transition. You'll say, well, you know what? I was going to ask you that next, but
yeah,
that too. It's like, it's just kind of steers itself in there. So
well, it does. And it's funny because I have the 10 questions, right? I told you when you came on, like I have 10 questions written out and it's really just a framework, right? For the conversation. It just gives me an idea where to go. But I think when I did yours, I only asked like 6 of the 10 questions that were actually on the paper while we were going. I changed 4 questions while on the spot while we were doing it because of the way the conversation was going. And that happens pretty much every week when I do it is, you just kind of get into the conversation. You got a framework to go by and then you just talk about whatever comes up.
No, that's awesome. Again, you have a talent for it for sure.
Well, thank you.
It's definitely awesome. And again, you've had some amazing guests on there. How was that? You kind of get, you said you started out with some folks, so obviously we have the usual suspects, which, those are going to be your go-to guys that you can depend on for anything. And then you have to have that moment where you're like, all right, who do I ask?
Oh, no. Well, and at first it was like that, right? It was absolutely like, okay, who do I ask next? And I had made some friends. I talk about it a lot where, when I started the channel, just kind of fell into, this group of people. And there was this initial group of people, and then I fell into this other group of people, which includes you guys and Panda and, Burke and all those guys that I just kind of fell into. And so it's really gotten easier as I've done more of them to say, hey, would you want to come on 10 questions? Because people are like, yeah, man, I would love to. Now, in the beginning, you're like, okay, who do I ask? And so one day I was just sitting there. I thought, I wonder if Jim Mint would come on. I just wonder if he would come on. And so I just sent him a message. And said, hey, man, I do this little show. I'm a small channel. I think I had like 200 subscribers at the time, maybe. And I asked him, and he was like, the response was, yeah, sure. And I was like, and I responded, I was like, no shit, really? Like, really? And he was like, yeah. And so he came on, and then from there, it kind of built up the confidence. Well, okay, maybe I'll ask somebody else,
Yeah.
And so most everybody I've asked, there's one guest that I've been trying to track down that I can't get on. I've been trying and trying. They told me yes, but then I can't get them on. That's the only one that I've really had trouble with. But I also messaged Method Man and DMC because I know they're both comic book fans, and neither one of them responded to date.
Give it some time. Give it some time.
Right.
Yeah, that was something when Chris and I had talked about doing this, and again, very relaxed setting. So I think Chris a couple times said, "All right, we're putting you in the hot seat," and not that hot.
Yeah.
That was something where we had started it where it was going to be just let's talk about it. It's a chat. We talk about some shout outs, some new books that we might have gotten, really anything that we want to cover and see what was going on. And then Chris actually started getting some guests on, and it was like, oh shoot, like okay, yeah, this is fantastic. So again, having you on is it's definitely really cool.
Yeah, no, and I love this. I love this format. Just kind of sitting around, chopping it up. It's just like hanging out. Like we were all sitting in the living room, just chilling out.
Couple
and
guys,
talking.
grab a couple beers, we hang out. Chris has got
I
a
dig
really
this
cool
format.
shirt on.
Do what?
I said Chris has got a really cool shirt on.
Oh,
I was trying to give you an intro.
I thought you were talking about your AutoZone shirt.
Oh, not mine. I do not work at AutoZone. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just pick up my batteries and tires from there. Thank you, AutoZone, for that plug.
That's right.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, so have you been able to slide by anything new in the comic book range? And certainly, if you're going to review it, you don't have to go over that. But was there anything new that anybody picked up this week, Chris?
Well, I mean,
I know it's like a week behind, so it's kind of the
new in the sense of new to me.
There you go. That counts. That counts.
My new comic book day is tomorrow because I am actually finally going to be in the city where the comic book shop is. Boom.
Yeah.
But I did get 3 books in the mail today, and since this is called Let's Talk About It, I'm going to air some. I'm just going to go ahead and get on a soapbox. And Jimmy and Jeremy both know, because we were talking about this right before we came on, what this is going to be about. So we'll start off with the 2 that I don't have to air out about. First one is Daredevil 201. Nice Black Widow cover. Daredevil's injured in this issue.
That's awesome.
And Black Widow has to step into Hell's Kitchen and fight off the baddies. This one was kind of an oddball for me. I'm not really into many Archie comics, but I got Sabrina the Teenage Witch #1.
Nice.
And then the one that I'm going to have to air out a little bit of dirty laundry about. I bought a CGC book, and I don't know if this was a bait and switch. That's what I called it initially. But I bought the Action Comics number, I think it's 49. It's a cover homage to the Infinite oh my goodness. I'm already so angry talking about it. Superman holding Supergirl dead. Yeah. Crisis on Infinite Earths, I think.
Yeah.
And this was the cover homage to that, the newer cover homage, and it was by Neil Adams. So the book that I ordered was the Neil Adams CGC Signature Series. It was signed by him. I was so excited to get it in, get home, and it's on my front porch today. So I'm like, yes, gonna go open it up. I opened it up, and as I'm pulling it out of the box, I noticed blue. So the seller, instead of sending me the gold label, which was advertised, sent me this book. And this was not what I purchased. So, not very happy about it.
I imagine there'd be a big price difference in a sign versus an unsigned Neil Adams. So
huge difference. And I was really excited about getting this book. And there's a 0.2 grade difference. The gold label was a 9.6. This one's a 9.8. And I messaged the seller, have not heard anything back, and I'm waiting eagerly, kind of angrily, for a response. So yeah, that was a big letdown, and today was a rough day at work. So that just kind of sent I told Jimmy and Jeremy, I said it was the one thing that just kind of tipped the barrel over for the day. So
I got to be honest, Chris, you're like the calmest angry person I've ever met in my life.
And everybody says that because I don't get angry over a lot. Even at school when I have a knucklehead that's like just uncontrollable.
I'm sorry. I'm imagining you pulling it out. Right? You've got that book and you're like, Blue.
Well,
Shucks.
well, see, no. Nobody was here in my house at that time, and I've had a little bit of time to cool the jets. But there were some explicatives that fell out.
I was gonna say, I guess we are getting it way after.
We are, yeah, we're getting it after the fact.
If you would have done an unboxing here and you were like, all right, guys, check out this signature series, and you pulled it out, and everyone's like, bye. Shut it down.
If I had done it live, it would have been one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened. But yeah, I think I cussed for about a good 6 or 7 minutes. Sat here at my desk and I was going, "Who does this mess? Why did they do this mess?" Yep. And I don't know.
So you're still waiting to hear back though. So you haven't had no response yet.
I hope they make it right. If they don't, then I'm going to be getting my money back and sending them this. Even though I love the cover, I'm going to be sending this back to them because I'd rather have my money and have the CGC gold label.
Well, yeah, and I would have to, again, just for the price, I'd have to think you could, once you got your money back, you can purchase that one anyways and save a little bit on it. I mean, there had to have been some value in having it signed. So
I do love that cover though, Chris. That is a sweet cover. I love that cover so much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Neil Adams is one of my favorite. If I had a new school, old school art area top of my list.
New school, old school.
Well, and when I say new school, old school, I'm talking Neil Adams is in a whole different apple compared to Gabrielle Delato's orange. So, that was just one of those things that just kind of, if I could have bit through a nail, I would have done it.
I'm with Chip Getler here on this one, Chris. The next time that occurs, like the second you pull something out and you realize it's the wrong thing, you need to grab your phone and start recording and post that. That will go viral in a second.
It probably would have, but then at the same time, I would have had either one or two outcomes from it. On one hand, I would have had people going, "Ha ha, you got played," and then on the other hand, I'd had people going, "You need to find this guy's house, burn it down, and get what you deserve."
Yeah, you're right.
Camp I'm in.
Then you would have gotten amped up, and
we'll get the pitchforks and hit the road, Jack. That's my kind of party.
But I mean, you got to think about it. If it were something else like ASM #1 signed by Stan Lee, it's great to have an ASM 1 CGC, but that Stan Lee pushes it just right over the top, and that's kind of how. With me and Neil Adams, that's kind of how I feel or felt.
No, it was a grail. I mean, that's what it is. Like, you didn't have a Neil Adams. You wanted to get the signature. It was on a book that you enjoy the cover for, obviously. And yeah, no, I completely understand that.
I'm a huge Neil Adams fan too. I was trying to see if it was anywhere close by. I was going to grab it, but Rob Fatstacks had sent me an AOK. And it was a book signed by Neil Adams, a Superman cover, a cover he'd done. I love Neil Adams, dude. I was so excited to get that, because I wanted that signature so bad. So I get it.
Yeah. I've had one chance to buy one before. A pawn shop, of all places, locally had it was a Neil Adams cover where Superman and I guess Superman and Lois's son are standing at Lois's grave. And it was signed by Neil Adams and had a COA with it. And I wanted it forever. It wasn't graded. It wasn't like super good condition, but the guy wanted like $450 for it. And I'm like, I wouldn't even pay that for, but he had never come down off the price. And he was like, I just took it off the shelf and put it in my vault. I was like, okay. So,
yeah, when you're talking that's definitely a slightly larger investment than what you may have originally intended on. So,
but lesson learned, and I'm just as good now as I always am. I'm smooth sailing and chilled out. It wasn't like I pulled crap from an Ollie's blind bag. So hey, we're on the upside.
There you go. Let me see if I can switch over here. So I haven't picked up anything from the LCS yet. Quick review. I did receive a few items through a couple AOKs. This was from Gary B, which is phenomenal, by the way. I cracked that open, and that was awesome. He sent me this one as well, which is very cool because Thor's definitely up my alley. And then 2 of Conan 186, which was when Gary was on the channel, this was the book that I had asked him about. And he sent me a newsstand and the direct, which I did not expect to get both. But again, that was just as a recap. This is what I had asked Gary about. And sure enough, he said he had a few. So that was really cool. And then Whack Comics. If anybody missed the yeah, I swear I wasn't even gonna laugh. I thought I would be so good. The second you started to giggle, I was like, oh shoot. All right. So if anybody missed the chainsaw unboxing, Whack Comics sent me this wonderful slab. Again. Oh, sorry, I froze there for a second. Piece of YouTube history right here, everybody. It's a 1.0.
With a sticker on the booty.
Signed multiple times here. It's got the Whack sticker, custom Whack label. It comes with the certificate of authenticity in the slab. And it also comes with the certificate of authenticity from the grading company as well. So, yes, this was the newest edition. I believe Tyler said that the Slab King needed another one, and it was probably the lowest grade that I have, which it is, but definitely one of the most cherished. So this
you need to put that on the wall behind you.
I'm for serious. Sure. I was not lying. And the second I saw this, I was like, you know what, guys, this goes straight to the top. And I can't even. I mean, I laughed for 15 damn minutes when I was opening it, but so happy to get that. And again, the fact that they actually went through and waited and paid for it to be slabbed is, I mean, that's unbelievable. Because if I would have got it with a sticky note on the back, I would have enjoyed it. But the fact that they slabbed it with the sticky note, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
like
awesome.
That's Whack Comics, unbelievable, crazy, and Tyler and Lee, that was amazing. So, Mr. Jimmy, were you able to pick anything up, or again, if you're waiting for a show,
I have some books here. Yeah, I actually have some books here.
Don't feel pressured to review anything if it's going to be your content.
No, I've got some here. I wasn't able to go to the comic book shop last week, so I just went Monday and picked up my books from last week. And that's what I was sitting here before we came on. I was sitting here putting them, bagging them, boarding them. But I got my Superman, of course.
Nice.
And then my Challenge of the Super Sons, #1. Joker, #2. Which I love this. Did you all read that?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
That was so good. The first one was so good. I haven't read that one yet. I got Batman Detective, #1. Phantom on the Scan.
Yeah, big stack.
Oh, yeah. Lighthouse. Jenny Zero.
Nice.
Then the Spider-Man, Spider Shadow. And then my only cover purchase for the week, because I freaking love this cover. Can you all see that in the glare?
Ooh.
That's that Matina cover.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that cover. And so, and I'm not necessarily, I don't do cover buys a whole lot. But occasionally one I really, really like, I'll pick up, and I love that. I think that's awesome. So I'll go probably Friday and pick up the books from this week. So, or whenever I can. DJ Links, what was it I told him on the no, I won't say that again. When I was on Lamer Frame, I said he was dead to me. I didn't mean that though, DJ. I didn't mean it, and I won't say it now. I'm sorry, Mr. Lynx.
Yeah, I think that comes with the territory. You know what I mean? Superman, if you're a fan, you know what you're going to get, and that's the problem. I don't know.
I like boring. Apparently, no.
I would like to think that it's the tip of the scale of superpowers. You know what I mean? You have a truly original or the original superhero who, I mean, it's like, who's the one guy that you can put up against everybody? You know what I mean? There's always that sports team that will dominate for a decade, and the fans of that team are gonna love it, and everybody else hates them. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I hate it, and it's, it's like, oh, we hate Dallas or the Patriots or whoever it is. Like, there's always that one team that will dominate for a certain amount of periods. It's like whoever loves them, and everybody else freaking hates them. And it's like, like LeBron James is the guy. Kobe was like that too. If you kick it to basketball, everybody hates LeBron unless you're from Cleveland or wherever he's playing that year. And just because he's great. And Kobe was like that too. A lot of people hated Kobe, and you're right. Yeah, I mean, Superman was the original, and a lot of people hate on him. But I also get why people find him boring, right? Like, I get it, but I love it. I can't help it. I still love it, and I love the new show. Have y'all watched the new show, the new Superman show? I have. I'm not caught completely up to it, but I have caught it. Yes.
I don't like Superman enough that I'm not going to watch it.
Can you take him off the screen, Remy? Can we just kick him off and it'll just be the Remy and Jimmy show? Hey, look, I can't hate him because he had bad cover.
The second half is just going to be all Superman.
That's right. We're going to talk Superman. No, look, I can't hate on Chris. He had that awesome cover. So
there you go.
I can't hate on him. Yeah, let's go. That's fine. No, let's talk Superman. No, we would lose the crowd. We won't do that.
It's not that I hate Superman. I just feel like, kind of like I do with Venom now. He's one of those characters. He's had his time in the light. Yes, he's the original, but just like KFC, they had the original chicken for a long time. But then they had to go and make the extra crispy original just to make it better. And I don't feel like they.
Now, okay. Well,
I thought he was going to trash Kentucky too. Like, he was going to trash the Kentucky Fried Chicken and Superman.
Let's talk about it. All right. So they had original, and then they had extra crispy, and there was always the debate on like which one it was, right? And usually, like, for our family, it was, all right, we're going to get a mix because I was a fan of the original and Angel liked the extra crispy, but it would only make sense to make the original extra crispy. Like, why couldn't you season the extra crispy like you did the original and just cook it a little longer? Whatever you do, I don't know, fry it a little longer. Like, it made sense. And now I think that's all they have, don't they? You don't even get a choice anymore, right? Isn't it just the one? They just have one kind of chicken. That's what I was going for, anyways. KFC, y'all. Let's talk about it.
I hated Superman up until the point of Batman versus Superman, and I hate the movie. But they made Doomsday so bad in that movie that I actually liked Superman in it because Doomsday was awful, and I Superman to me is just, he's bland. He's got some great villains. He's got some great stories. I don't hate him altogether, but if I was stuck with the choice of on the shelf Superman and Challengers of the Unknown, I'm picking Challengers of the Unknown.
Remy, all I'm hearing is blah 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 blah. That's all I'm hearing.
What I heard was, when the Justice League needed to whip some ass, they only had one guy that they were depending on.
They had to bring him back.
What are we going to do? We have all of us, but what are we going to do? And they were like, I got an idea. Let's resurrect the one guy because that's who we need.
They could have done it.
Let's talk about it. And fried chicken. I got a sticker plug here. I forgot to give her some folks. Here we go. Yeah, so Superman. That's now, Chris. You know what though, and I mean, everybody knows it, and I mean, we've said it. You're certainly not alone in the, without being a huge fan of of Superman. So,
look, apparently we're gonna have to stop because DJ's getting ready to get in his car. He's gonna fall asleep, and we do not want to do that to the world.
There you go. Wouldn't that be something? What happened? He was listening to Let's Talk About It, and they were talking about Superman.
And he fell asleep.
Ray, man? How you doing?
Can we talk about the fact that it feels like the good portion of superheroes are confused about where to wear their underwear?
Yeah.
Why
true.
is it all of them wear their underwear on the outside?
Well, now a lot. I mean, now the movies at least they've kind of done away with that. I thought that was the big, they.
Well, that's a bad thing. I do that right now. I mean, I can stand up.
No.
I thought that's just how it went. I thought that was like a fashion style, like in Brooklyn. I thought that was just what you did.
Yeah, underwear on the outside is. I don't know. That is an interesting question. I wonder. I mean, you had to have known it was underwear. You know what I mean? Like at one point, somebody was like, "You know what? I think in his costume we're going to accentuate his crotch," and then they're like, "All right, well, make it a different color like underwear." It's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. So,
but see, Robin's the only. Everybody gives Robin such a hard time, but Robin's the only one that had it right. He was like, "You know what? I'm wearing underwear. Screw the
just
pants
underwear.
underneath it."
Yep.
He was the one that was smart, and he was the sidekick that never gets any love.
Well, he was the only sidekick that anybody can remember, though. That's the thing. When you try to name sidekicks, Robin. That's it. I mean, the idea of sidekick, I think, is Robin, and then that's it. Because it's like you're on a team, or you're not, or you're Robin. And even Robin, I mean, was developed into his own superhero, so it's like,
or everybody that's on a team with Superman, they're his sidekick.
I mean, he has to be on the team, though. I mean, we've proven that in the movie. Zack Snyder proved that he has to be on the team.
And anybody who we all know that Doomsday Clock sucks, but anybody who's read Doomsday Clock will know that Superman is the center of all universes. He is what hope is, and without Superman, there can be nothing. So, if you enjoy The Watchmen, if you understand Dr. Manhattan and that whole thing, and you've actually read Doomsday Clock, then you'll understand that without the idea of Superman, because he's a lot more than just a person or a superhero, but without the idea of Superman, the universe cannot exist. You heard it here first, folks. Sorry,
but he'll never be like Captain America and have America's ass.
That is right.
That is true. That is true.
Well, this went down a rabbit hole quick.
It really did. It really did. It's so unusual that Superman would come up with when we have the Don on the Let's Talk About It.
Normally, people just want to bring him up so they can trash him too.
We outnumber him.
Yeah.
It's like I talk about Hulk and Thor and Galactus, and everybody knows where my love is. And they're like, "Yeah, I didn't know Remy was so big into Superman all of a sudden." It's like, well, there you go. I don't know.
That's right. I love it. I'll come on every week. We'll do this every week. No, I wouldn't do that to your audience.
So can we talk?
Chris? I like Chris. I don't want to put him through misery every week. Or DJ. We don't want DJ. I think he said he woke up and just woke up in a hospital bed and caught my wife trying to pull the
plug. Oh man!
I feel like,
so sorry,
I feel like
DJ.
we need to have DJ in here live so that we can just see him slowly slip.
He wouldn't agree to it. He wouldn't agree to it.
No.
We would have to lie to him. Like I would have to be like, "All right, DJ, we're gonna have you on again." He comes on, and then we have to slide you.
Slide me in. I'll wear my Superman shirt,
Yep.
and he's sitting there going, "Yeah, that happens."
So let's talk a little bit about the madness of one of the new books out this week. I know we were talking about it a little bit before the show, but we have a book that is coming out amongst all the other great books, or not so great Superman. We've got a great book a book that's come out amongst all these great books, and it seems like comic shops don't have the book at all anymore. It's hard to find in the shops. Batman and Fortnite, 0 point number 1. Somebody please tell me, other than the fact that it's got a code for Harley Quinn, why this book is so special.
That has to be it, though, right, Remy? Because it has that code in there. That has to be the reason that people are buying it.
I had heard that a lot of the comic shops were claiming they didn't order enough, but I don't know. I mean, maybe just I don't know. Maybe because it's a mix between comics and games, and so it's like you have your gamers who may purchase it, and you have your comic guys who may. Or
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Listen, I've been in a shop before on New Comic Book Day, and I've looked at a book that I had heard from a channel that said, okay, this is going to be hot. And I've been able to look it up, and sure enough, they'll be selling for, like $40 or $50. And I'm like, well, shoot, here's a whole stack of them right here. It doesn't always make sense. Who knows what drives the market for this, but
it's worse.
I didn't even realize, like I said.
Yeah, DJ's saying one book, two audiences. That's what I was thinking.
Could be, yeah. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, I'm sure the print room was probably pretty good on that, too. I mean, as far as, a lot of times those books jump because they're scarce and, there's not a big print run. But I can't imagine that. It's Batman, so I can't imagine it would be really small. It has to be that people are just going in and getting the code for the code. That would be to me, anyway. Like I said, if I saw that book, I wouldn't even pick it up.
Yeah, Chip says it is. Chip said it's because of the code, and sellers are buying it, or sellers buying to sell on eBay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look it up on eBay right now. Those books are between $25 to $35 a pop, and I'm going, okay.
Slots and Batman. Enough said.
So let's make a Batman book that mixes with Fortnite, and then for the people that do play Fortnite, put the code in the store, sell it. I mean, I get the idea they're trying to market to two separate audiences: video game or gamers and the comic book audience. But for me, a book that I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just, to me, it's madness over this book.
Well, I mean, we've played Fortnite, Chris, and you're the king of Fortnite, which I'll just tell everybody now in the chat. If you didn't know, Chris is an expert at Fortnite. But this is the first time they've had it in the books, right? I mean, because I know that I know Fortnite has had Marvel characters in it. They've had DC, they've had every type of character that they've added in there. But I mean, if this is an indication of it, possibly you'll see it. Like Marvel may jump on this now. I mean, if they're, they just had that big Marvel run where you could be, or in Fortnite where you could be Thor and Storm and Doctor Doom and Wolverine and all this stuff, and you could get their powers and all kinds of things. So I know that was a big part of the game, but now that they're introducing it into comics, yeah, people are gonna jump on it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm 100% going to the comic book store tomorrow, and if they have 10 of them, I'm buying them all.
If the code that they have, is it like a scratcher code? I mean, is it
I believe it's like a peel back sticker.
I'm just wondering because this may be like the Marvel stamps. You know what I mean? Like this is years from now, somebody's going to use that code and it's going to be like, sorry, you peeled back the sticker. That's got to be one of those things where they make it. I mean, because I always thought that with books have been offering digital codes and stuff, or just anything that comes in a comic. Like everybody knows, all right, you don't disturb that thing. So, yeah, I mean, if this is going to be as big for gamers as what they think, the ones that survive without having that code disturbed are probably going to be the valuable ones to look at in the future. Or it's just going to be hogwash. They'll just say, "Well,
Who
that was
knows? Well, like I was going to ask you, like Marvel. Most of the Marvel books have a digital code in them, right?
Yeah.
Where you can get. And I know a lot of people. I've never actually used one. I wonder if that would be kind of like what you're talking about, like with the stamps and things like that down the road.
Yeah.
If you don't mess with them. I don't know.
No, I'm not touching.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to apologize. I'm being a little bit of a devil's advocate tonight because I'm still reeling over this Action Comics book. It's all
He's just
super
raging,
fun.
people. He is raging over the book and taking it out on me.
I hate to bring up the
Superman.
Fortnite thing again, but damn it.
I just, I don't know. There are books that I get the hype behind. The new Batman, where it introduces Bane's daughter. I get it. Bane is a huge character in the Batman universe, literally and figuratively. And now they're introducing his daughter. Big book. Miracle Molly. Okay. Could be a big book. Could end up kind of like Punchline, where she kind of fades into the back a little bit. But Fortnite and Batman, okay, I understand. I get what they're doing. I understand they're trying to intertwine these two. They've had it in the game. Let's put it in a book form now. Great. But it's just like the Pokemon phase and the sports card phase, where people are, and I know that's just the way of the beast. Buy low, sell high, and I get it, but it just I don't know. I'm still I'm a little iffy on the edge, and this I'm not my usual chipper positive self tonight.
I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared.
I think this is what I mean. When you talk about FOMO and people not knowing what to buy, I mean, this is a perfect example of it. Just it seems like every month now there's going to be that one book that if you picked it up, you lucked out. You know what I mean? If you didn't, you didn't. And so that's what's everybody's just picking up all these things. So who knows what it is? No, there may just be some crazy billionaire behind it, and he just decided he's like, all right, I'm going to start selling these off at $100 a pop, and then it just changes the whole market. And there's just one Mr. Sinister behind everything. Who knows?
Well, it's like Jimmy said. I'm going to the shop tomorrow, and if they have copies on the shelf, I'm going to let that shop bend me over, and I'll call them my daddy because I'm going to buy them. But
will you pay more than cover for them if they're selling them above cover at your shop?
No.
I wouldn't either. Like if I went in there and they've got them and they're going to sell them to me for cover, I'll buy every book they have and throw them on eBay. As far as that goes, but otherwise, I'm not going to seek it out. It's one of those books I'm surely not going to pay that much for on eBay.
Trying to see. Let me see if I can. Why don't y'all talk about it for a moment?
Chris, so tell me about, I've been enjoying on your channel, actually. I really enjoy to watch you draw, like when you're drawing the books.
Uh-huh.
I really enjoy that. You're going to be doing some more of those?
Absolutely. This week I started my first pop-up art jam, and basically I got on what night was it you did the whack comment somebody? Was it Monday? Yeah, Monday night. I jumped on Monday night. I had planned to be on for like 45 minutes and just take anybody that popped into the live, take their suggestion to draw a character and draw it and send it to them. Just because. Not charge them, just do it because I wanted to draw and I wanted a little bit of a challenge. I am doing the art with the professor. It's actually become kind of a weekly thing now. I do it on Saturday mornings. I don't know that I'll keep doing them on Saturday mornings. It may be a different day because you always have people go, I can't be up that early. Well, it's like get up, make your coffee, and watch YouTube. But no, I would never say that to them. But but I enjoy just getting on and drawing, talking. It the interaction that I get because of something that I guess I was gifted mildly at is fun to me. Just talking while I'm drawing, showing it, and letting people see something from start to finish. Because
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of my favorite things, kind of getting back into the hobby, and Gary B had popped it up there, said, Jimmy, you should commission a Superman from him. What did we do right before we started? I actually sent the man some money. He's going to do a Superman for me.
Yes, sir.
But that's really all these different artists, with all these different styles, the creativity that's out there has been astonishing to me. Like, it's really cool. I'm like you. I dig the art too. Like, I'm not necessarily a huge cover buy, but I will buy a cover for the art. But I would rather buy something from you and, have something different. I think it's cool. Taylor's done some stuff for me. The piece that DJ had done that Dallas guy did with the Biggie and the Thanos is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I love watching you do that. That's why I was saying that. I think that's so cool.
Well, Dallas is an amazing artist. Dallas Anderson. If you don't follow him, you need to follow him. I think he does Instagram. I follow Turtles. I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go to his page. Wow. What was
That's my dog. Okay. I have a miniature schnauzer, and I'm sure there's a leaf blowing out there, and now it's going crazy. It's got the shrill bark.
But it's fun for me just to be able to get on chat. Drawing for me is the most relaxing thing ever. I enjoy doing it, and it's a lot of the times it's how I kind of pour into what I do, kind of emotions and frustration and happiness from what I've got going on. So it's a fun thing for me to do.
Just so everybody's aware. So looking at I wanted to see how folks are listing this. So they are listing the Fortnite book with code. I did see one or two that said code used, and those were obviously less. So it appears to be that's what I didn't know if they were like going to list like low print run or something, you know what I mean? And instead it was Fortnite book with code. And so, yeah, it appears to be that is what the hype is. So sorry, everybody. Remington Studios is not a speculation channel. So surprise. I know nothing about this. If anybody called it, there you go.
But going back to talking about Monday night, Lee from Black Comics jumped on and he was like, draw Sweet Tooth. So me being the idiot that I am, I go from Twisted Metal. And he's like, no, Sweet Tooth from the comic books. And I was like, never heard of him. So I looked him up and come to find out, Tyler had told me that Lee had actually done some artwork for the Sweet Tooth comic. And I was really impressed, had never heard of him before. But between Monday night and today, believe it or not, I've seen Sweet Tooth pop up 4 or 5 different times. And I'm going, how is it I've never heard about this character, hear about him Monday night, and then all of a sudden he just starts popping up? It's YouTube. They're listening.
Oh, yeah. Well, I went through, when I do the top 5 list or whatever, my Tuesday, books,
first
like that
Batman issues.
Book. Yeah, first appearances and key issues. That book didn't even cross my radar as far as one to include on the list. Like, I thought Batman and Fortnite, that's just, I thought it's
and
just
something. That's why I didn't know anything about it, y'all.
That's right. It's my fault. I'm sorry, audience. I'm so sorry. I will do better next time, Remy. Don't make Chris hulk out on me like he's already angry.
No, I'm calm again. I'm calm again.
DJ said it's the Illuminati, so that explains it.
Awkward silence.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to highlight some of the folks here in the chat.
That really was a good interview on Slotted Up 503's channel with Dallas. That was really cool.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, yep. He does do some phenomenal work over there as well. It's so cool to be able to see the artists, that are doing. I mean, this is their really what they've got at this point. I mean, it's not a whole lot that you can do. I guess from an art perspective. So Instagram and Facebook and what other social media they can reach out through. So I think it's awesome though.
That was actually something. I'll bring up Superman again. I'm so sorry, but it was actually something I'd considered doing, was just having all these different artists do their take on Superman. So I would have all this different art of Superman, and just like what Chris is going to do for me. That's something I actually thought about starting, just to collect that. To start collecting these different art pieces. Not there would be, like a ton of value and something like that, but to me it would be awesome. It would be, priceless. I think that would be cool. Awkward pause again.
Oh, it's every time I look over at the chat. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, Superman.
Keep the show going, Remy.
It's like between me checking the speculation of eBay and the chat, we're hitting a miss here. So apologize for that, everybody. We're almost at that hour mark, though. Anyways, so what you said that you were, well, never mind. I don't want to discuss. I was going to say, you said that you were developing the counterpart to 10 questions. We'll hold on that though. I
can talk a little bit about it. Well, I don't care to. I mean, there's just, as far as I won't go into the specifics of it necessarily, but it will be 10 questions, but not with just YouTubers, right? It'll be some different things. Like, for example, some of the different ideas that I've been looking at was I think it's interesting, these people who do these videos about how to be successful on YouTube. I wouldn't care to interview those guys and just talk to them, have a whole series based on that. And of course, I would love to interview some comic book creators, people that are writing books, people that are drawing on the books, and just kind of pick their brain 10 questions style. So it would be something like that. I haven't got it totally developed yet exactly how I want to do it, but that's the idea I've been working on. And it would be something like that, because I think that would be another interesting thing, especially for people like us who enjoy comic book content, to find out. And plus, we're trying to do YouTube channels, would be something cool to talk about.
Absolutely.
And I'm the greatest interviewer ever, and so it should be me that does it.
Yeah. And that's something where you can just pick your day and then fill that spot, and we'll have your Thursday morning, and then it could be Friday morning or whatever you wanted to. There you go.
Mornings with Jimmy. That's what we'll call it.
Or a cup of Jim.
A cup of Jim. I like that even better, Chris. I'm trademarking that right now.
LLC.
But no, that's as far as 10 questions, like I said, I just want to do an offshoot of that, because I've just found I like to do it, and I think it would be fun just to talk to some different people, because I'm getting tired of talking to you YouTubers.
And now, so I try to get a mid laugh there. Oh, man,
you got Jimmied. That's DJ's a car pass on a cup of Jim. I'm with that. You got
maybe
Jimmied.
Not. Yeah. I really like that
you got Jimmy.
That's 100% what it's going to be now.
That's hilarious.
You got Jimmy. Well, instead of like we always talk about DJ, stick around. It'll be, you got Jimmy.
Oh man, this is Jimmy Donker, and you just got Jimmy.
Oh look, the person
that's hilarious.
Oh.
Yep. That's it. That's it. You're gonna have to you have to give Gary Vee some money for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh
he's
man,
he's just gonna go buy more Red Sonja books.
Getting too big for YouTube, Jimmy. Dan, I am a star in my own mind. I tell everybody I think I'm DJ Lynx. I think I'm the super cool, whatever. But I'm not.
So, are there any books that you're hunting for currently, or any grails that you're currently searching for? Something that Chris had asked Kevin last week. I thought that was a pretty good question. Is there anything particular that you've been eyeballing or shooting for this year?
Not really. Like I feel like I need to complete something. I've been buying a lot of Something's Killing the Children. Like every one of those books I can get my hands on. I've been buying if I can find it for a pretty decent price. I've been picking a lot of those up. But I think I've never, Superman. I think I'm going to put together. I feel like I need to complete something. Like I need to complete a run. So I think I'm going to start trying to put together maybe a run of Action Comics, Superman books, something like that. Maybe some early Spider-Man, cardboard. But no, that's something like that. But as far as that goes, not really a ton of stuff that I'm specking on, per se. Just if I get out and I find something cool. I've been buying a lot of Jack Kirby stuff, like New Gods. I just bought the run of New Gods.
Oh, nice.
What else did I buy? Forever People. I bought that run. So I've been picking up some old Kirby stuff that I want, maybe just kind of upgrading my collection, and with some of those books is primarily what I'm doing. If I go out and if I see something I want, I buy it, generally. So, but yeah, that's kind of stuff I've been looking at.
I hear you there. I actually am like a huge opportunity buyer, so maybe something I hadn't even considered the day before, and then I see it and I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome to add to this. So yeah, definitely understand that.
SmallTown Diva, I like that too. I'm SmallTown Diva, and you just been jimmied.
There you go. That's it.
Oh man, that's too good.
So I've got to tell you guys this story that I read today. I go on Facebook sometimes and just read what people post on comic forums, and there's this. I ran across one today, and this guy had just posted this amazing pickup. So I'm reading, and apparently he lives somewhere in Tennessee, and there was a widowed woman, and her husband had collected, and she was cleaning out and getting rid of some of his old belongings that she didn't need anymore, and she decided to sell his comic collection. So this guy ended up purchasing his comic collection. I think she wanted $600 for it. He paid $600. Well, he took it home. He went sight unseen because she told him, around the years that he had collected. And he was like, okay. So he goes home and he's got it, I think he said it was somewhere around 4 short boxes. But in those short boxes, he gets the first appearance of Silver Surfer, first appearance of Black Panther, first appearance of Galactus. He gets some of the early X-Men run. He gets Golden Age Wonder Woman, all of them raw, but all of them in 7.0 and above condition.
Oh, nice.
And this guy, he had posted pictures of the books laid out on his kitchen table, and it was just one after the other grail that some of us would search for our whole lives, but he struck it by buying this $600 collection from a lady. And I'm sitting there thinking, how in the world do you run across something like that by chance and not look at it and go home, buy it, go home, and it's got pretty much your retirement in it? I mean, you could retire with those keys, but it was a cool story. Good read. I think there was a media outlet that picked up on it and did a story about it, and the woman was very, very okay with it. I mean, she said, they were his. He collected them. He loved those books. And I wanted somebody to have them that loved them just as much. And I don't care if they're worth thousands or millions of dollars, but somebody that got them, that wanted them, got them at a good price, and I'm okay with that. So
You know, I had a. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
it was a nice story.
I had something like that happen. My uncle, I talk about him a lot. You know, we would go out and pick all the time, and he bought a school desk one time. It was an old school desk. You remember those that had the flip tops and you could put books down in them?
Yeah.
And he bought one. He paid like $50 for it. We brought it home. The reason he bought it is he wanted the desk for some reason, but inside the desk was a bunch of comic books, and there were a bunch of Western comic books on top, and that's what he loved. He loved old Westerns comic books because that's what he watched when he was a kid. We get it home, and he almost didn't buy it. Like, we actually left because they were like $10 apart on this $50 desk, and then he stopped, turned around, went back and got it. And we took it home, and he used to let me, you know, go through the books, and I would separate them and do all that, get them bagged and boarded, you know, that kind of stuff. And inside this desk, he found it was a Spider-Man #1.
Oh, wow.
And he ended up sending it off, getting it graded, and sold it for some stupid price. But that's probably the biggest grail find. Good Lord. That's probably the biggest grail find that I've ever been on with him, as far as, you know, like finding a crazy book like that, because that's a cool story.
Oh yeah. Finding something that's like
It's like treasure hunting.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like those folks that buy like storage units and stuff. You know what I mean? And you find books in there or something. It's crazy.
I apologize for the background noise. It's that time of the evening, kids coming in from dance. We got dogs barking.
No. You are good. You are good, sir.
The was so precise. I don't want to, you know, make the background noise mess it up. And I saw this out here. I've got to comment again. So I've got my new tagline. Are you ready?
Okay.
I'm Jimmy Kerr from SmallTown Collectibles, the walking STD, and you've just been jimmied.
Oh,
So put that all together.
Perfect.
Does that work?
Perfect.
So that'll be the new intro into all my videos from now on.
That is hilarious.
We're all going to be eagerly waiting to hear it.
Thank you. Let's talk about an audience
can't wait.
for revelation
Can't wait
of
for
creativity that I'm going to release on you. That doesn't sound good either. That I'm going to bring to you.
Did you see DJ's comment?
Shuts down the whole thing right here.
Jeremy, did you see DJ's comment?
Yes. Yep.
They're trying to bore him to death, DJ. Is that the punchline?
It's very Cosby-esque.
And today we're going to be making roofie coladas.
Oh man, this took an unusual twist. So,
I've had a blast. It's been so much fun.
Well, you know, we have to, and I definitely, again, appreciate you coming on. What do you have coming up on the channel? Anything that you want to share with the folks in the chat, by chance?
Yeah, well, tomorrow, the 10 questions interview that'll drop tomorrow is actually me getting interviewed. It was my 25th episode of 10 questions. And the usual suspects jumped on with me, Gary B. the Casual Comic Guy, and Slotted Up 503. And they interviewed me. And that was a lot of fun. It's very different being, you know, in the hot seat, so to speak, you know, because my show's more to the point, and, you know, you kind of do the interview. And so it was pretty interesting having to answer those questions. So that'll drop tomorrow, 7 a.m. Everybody go check that out. I did this thing Slot kind of got me into. It was like this not comic. It was, I forget what it was called. It was like this community mystery box swap. And it was like you came up with like a $75 box, and then you got a name, and you put a box together and sent it to them. And it had to be like something from your state, something from your hometown, and then some collectibles. That'll actually drop on May 3rd. And that was kind of fun to do. And I've already opened my box, recorded. I got some cool stuff. Like, it was really neat. Like, that was kind of fun. And then I don't know what else. I've got a bunch of videos recording in the hopper. I can't even remember what's coming, to be honest with you. But
sounds like some sort of Secret Santa thing that the community needs to jump on. That'd be cool.
It's sort of like that. And Mama J was the lady's name, and there was like 75 people in it. They tried to get it up to 75 people, and then they do this collectible swap. It was really neat.
The slot says
80 channels.
yeah, up to 80 channels. So unfortunately, some channels didn't get to participate in it, I guess.
Remy, you sound a little butthurt.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Maybe the next time we have a humongous collaboration of almost 100 plus channels, then.
And I think the idea kind of behind it is, everybody goes and subs each other up. Like there's a schedule when everybody releases their videos. My day, I think Slots is May 3rd as well.
That's cool.
And so it was pretty neat. It was something he just told me about, and I jumped on it, and it was a lot of fun. So that video will come out. And like I said, I've got some mystery boxes I've done that I've, pre-recorded, and they're sitting out there waiting to drop. I can't remember exactly what I've done. So
no, that's your hearts get Jimmy.
Oh my Lord.
It's not going to stop. It's not
I love
gonna
it.
Stop. Mr. Chris, what do you got coming up on the show, sir?
So I've got art with the professor Saturday morning. That'll be usual time, 10 a.m. I may, and if I do, you'll see an announcement. I may push it back to 11 to give some people an hour extra to get up. But anyways, I've got that, and I've done a new video, and I'm editing it. I wanted to kind of shoot something a little raw and not talk or not show off comic books that I got or do any art or anything like that. But it's called Why I Collect, and it's just kind of a in-depth, kind of a get to know me raw deal where I strip everything down and just talk about why I'm into comics and why I read and why I do YouTube. Because I feel like there's a lot of mystery behind a lot of people on YouTube. You want to know a little more about them, but all you see is them doing unboxings, hauls, and I like the idea of being a little more personable. So I plan to have that out hopefully by midweek next week.
Cool.
And other than that, other than the usual not the usual suspects, not talking about our group of guys here, but I've got some books that are on the way. I may do a haul from tomorrow when I go to the shop, but nothing live other than art with the professor.
Awesome. And I've got nothing. I've got some mail coming in. We'll see.
Come on, Jeremy, get in the zone.
We'll see. This is the zone. Yeah, we'll see. Well, we have no clue.
Zone.
Again.
Well done, Chris. That was great.
This was yesterday, so I don't. Who knows what's going to happen? Or Monday? Yeah.
How do you even follow that up?
That's what I'm saying. So who knows what's going to happen? But I've got some mail coming in. We'll see what's happening. Check it out. You know what I mean? Who knows? But Mr. Jimmy Don, well, seriously, this is this was amazing. Well, really appreciate you coming on. A lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Again, we keep it kind of loose. Let's talk about it. Really, is we don't have notes or anything. We don't discuss it beforehand. Just whatever comes to mind. That's kind of the best way that we found. It's like you said for 10 questions, it just kind of weaves in there, and who knows? Hopefully DJ doesn't fall asleep at the wheel, but we talked Superman a little bit today.
Yeah.
So,
Jeremy, I've actually got two other things.
Yeah.
Because sticking with the true nature of the beast, we started this doing shout outs, and I do have one channel that I want to mention while we're here.
Okay.
Of course, we had Panda that crossed the threshold of 500. Congratulations, Panda. And Mark over at Legion of Comics crossed the 700 threshold, killing it like normal. I mean, his subscribers shoot up, but every week by I think 100. But there was a channel that I wanted to mention, and they're actually here in the chat. Comicade. I've been watching some of his videos recently, pretty intently, and the guy's got a great production for his channel, does some excellent videos, and talks about some more obscure books that I think that we kind of neglect to look at or look over. And I just wanted to shout him out to let him know that I appreciate what he's doing. And if you're here and you're not subscribed to him, go over to his channel and hit that subscribe button, because he's a super fun guy to talk to. He's got some great ideas and does some really cool videos. And I think he deserves some more people over there showing some support. But that was the channel that I had. The other thing is, I know I posted this on Instagram, but if you're ever interested in being a guest on Let's Talk About It, all you have to do is message Jeremy or I, myself, because we're always looking for people to come on just to shoot the breeze with and have a fun time with. Jimmy has been an incredible guest tonight, and I know that I have appreciated talking to him. I know that Remy told me he was coming on the show, and I was like, yes,
Yeah,
we're getting
we
the
were excited
Don.
about it. Absolutely.
And so if you're ever wanting to be a guest on the channel, just shoot us a message, and we will work it in with your schedule so that you can jump on and talk about it.
And we can talk about it. All right. Well, I guess that's it. That's all we got. I don't have anything.
Can I close the show for you?
Absolutely, sir.
Please do.
All right. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr from the SmallTown Collectibles YouTube channel, The Walking STD, and Just Talk About It just got jimmied. Good night.